Okay, let us start with the first topic, Hamdi. Okay, this
Yes.
topic versus liability, I think
Yeah.
has taken many by surprise, including me. Is there no lead time for the implementation?
Oh, okay. This the amendment to the MACC Act came in last year, and it was expected to be implemented by 1st June this year. So what happened was we were under MCO, right? So
Yeah.
when we were under MCO, we were under the impression that the requirement to comply would be delayed by the government, considering that there were a lot of other leeways given to other processes. Yeah. So in a way, it does catch a lot of people by surprise, but it doesn't catch the big boys. They know what they're doing, but the SMEs and the um, you know lower caps companies, they are now having to run and put these things in order. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Okay, let's go straight to the point. What is
Yeah.
Section 17A of MSCC Act, and why is it so important for us to discuss here today?
Okay. Let me just take you to concept wise. Yeah. If Malaysia ranking in football is 154 out of probably 180 countries. We don't feel good about it. In rugby, we are ranked 45 out of so many playing nations, maybe about 100 as well. So, but in corruption, we are ranked 61 by Transparency International in 2018.
61.
So, which means that we're about same parity with these other two uh, you call rankings that we have. So yes, in the sense that it is in the second quartile, but that we needed to create more confidence. And when you reduce corruption, the delivery system will get better. So I think the government decided that this is one of it has arrived at this stage to to make sure that we reduce corruption this way. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we know what Section 17 is all about. I'm also a business owner. I'm
Yeah.
also a director of my company.
Yeah.
The next thing, most of us would want to know, why does the government would want to enforce this? What is their intention? What is their objective?
I think just to go back to my notes. Yeah. Okay. The first thing that I wanted to do is to combat corruption. So if the government by doing so, you're putting obligations on commercial organizations to be liable. So you will then have a situation where everybody needs to work to make sure that there is no corruption in their companies. Second thing is that then you improve governance. So that now they're going to force you to actually think about, look, how you're going to try and minimize corruption in your environment. Yeah. So that's the reason why they're doing it. Eventually, they're going to go higher and the next level, which is going to put a bit more onerous tasks on the business owners also.
I see. Okay. I see. So the intention is none other than combating bribery and preventing corruption. Yeah.
Yes.
So and also encouraging businesses to take appropriate steps to ensure they do not engage with corrupt activities for their interests.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the offense?
Okay. Okay. The original offense, the primary offense before the amendment was to make a person who commits that offense, who commit bribery and gratification, to be liable. So under Section 17A, now it says that a commercial organization commits an offense if any person associated with the commercial organization corruptly gives, agrees to give, promises or offers to any person any gratification, whether for the benefit of that person or another person, with intent to obtain or retain business for the commercial organization, or to obtain or retain an advantage in the conduct of business of the commercial organization. So now what it says that a commercial organization will then be liable for the acts of a person who performs the act of corruption. So that's the creation of an offense. So what they call, instead of one person being liable, you create the owner or the person guiding it to be liable.
I see. Okay. Can you also share with us who or specifically what type of businesses that should be concerned?
Okay. Currently there are three types of businesses who need to be concerned. One is a company under the Companies Act. The second are partnership in Malaysia. And the third part is any business that conducts business in Malaysia, which means that if you're a company under the company house in the UK and you're doing business here, then you are under an obligation to make sure you're protected against the application of this section.
I see. Okay. So meaning all companies, not just the large ones, including the small, medium-sized companies should be concerned.
Yes.
Okay. Companies comprise of shareholders, directors, management, and working level. So now let's talk about punishment. Since company cannot go to jail, who could go?
Okay. There are two types, there are two levels of punishment. Yeah. First is a fine of either R1 million, R1 million, or 10 times the bribery amount or higher, which means that the minimum is R1 million. The R1 million will then hit the bottom line of the company or of the commercial organization, of the partnership. Okay. Of course, the company cannot go to jail. Yeah? So if the company cannot go to jail, who then would go to jail? The person who needed to be accountable will first be, of course, the CEO. Yeah. And then also the directors of the company, the controller of the finance controller, the main officer, also partners of partnerships. So these are the people who will then be under an obligation and need to make sure that they do not go to jail.
I'm a director. I'm also a CEO of my company. Are you telling me that even if the staff commit the offense without our knowledge, we are still liable? Is there a defense?
Okay, I think when you talk about without your knowledge, what it means is, of course, you may say that you do not know. So the you do not know now will have to be replaced by you have taken steps. Yeah, you have taken steps to deal with it. So that means you must show that at the personal level, you do not give consent to the transaction. Also, at personal level, you have done the due diligence in dealing with it. Contohnya lah, if you take as an example, so if you are being asked to sign a check for a purpose of corruption or gratification, you would have investigated and tried to understand why such payment is being made. So therefore, you would have needed to conduct due diligence on that activity. So that is on a personal level or director, partner, etc. But maybe a director is not being requested to sign off then that payment. If you have 7 directors, maybe you're dealing with only 2 directors.
Yeah.
So, but in that situation, there is another layer, which is the company must implement adequate procedures, adequate procedures in order to prohibit and to prevent such conduct. So on a personal level, you must not consent to it, and you must have due diligence in your performance of your duties. On a company-wide level, you must implement adequate procedures to prevent such conduct from happening. Yeah.
Okay, understood. So can I say the key here is having the right processes and procedures in place?
Yes, I think in that sense, the government has also come up. Yeah, the government has also come up with a guideline about what the company must do. Okay, there's no one size fits all lah for this. It's a concept of TRUST. The English version of it is called trust. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if I can quickly take you through, I think my time is coming up. Let me just take you through what are the things that you need to do as a CEO of your company. first you must show top level commitment towards, against corruption, towards anti-bribery. You need to show that. Yeah, you need to own and endorse an ABC, an anti-bribery corruption policy, to be part of the way you conduct business. Okay, and senior management must also participate at every opportunity. They try to observe and the form of substance of the ABC policy. So from top level, you need to show a good example. That's what you need to do. Second thing, so that's T, top level commitment. Second one is risk assessment. So risk assessment, the company needs to do risk assessment, asking questions about are there opportunities for fraud, for bribery, for corruption within the company and within the business environment. Yeah, you have to look at, make sure that you do not pay for something which is fraudulent. You must ensure that that you understand the sectoral risk and deal with it. You also must understand exposure to Agents Act and also your counterparties. So that's TR. Yeah? So just briefly, the next one is, of course, you have to understand control measures. Yeah, so this is the one that you must undertake control measures. So you as a CEO, you must, your staff who are conducting business for you must have channel to report against bribery. So you need the line to be confidential. You also need to have a due diligence, make sure that everybody understand that this is a challenge that everybody must overcome. So if you talk about reporting channel, so you have the whistleblower requirement that you need them to be protected when conducting, when they are reporting to you. So those are TRU, yeah, in the arrangement lah, Karen, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the rest will be systematic review, monitoring and enforcement, and also training and communication. So I think that's also what I have briefly alluded to just now. Yeah.
Okay, great tips, Budi.
Yeah.
At least we now know where and how to start. Yeah. Most of us here are owners, founders, and CEOs.
Yeah.
What should we, the CEOs, must do now?
Okay, I think the first thing is to go and take a look at the guidelines. Look at the guidelines and you implement the trust into your adequate procedures. So you need to endorse it. Your board need to endorse it. Your board need to say, okay, this is the way we are going to deal with it. Of course, your guidelines may not be as detailed as the multinationals, but you have to then test within the board. How are you going to be happy with the adequacy? You can get advice from us. You can also get from MACC themselves if you want. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot, Hamdi, for sharing with us about the Section 70A of MACC Act.
Yeah.
If I may, if I can recap, Section 17A of this MACC Act is for the companies, top management to show their commitment to prevent corruption, right? To prevent corruption and to combat against bribery. So thanks a lot, Hamdi.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now let's